So I was called to come and program this Jeep Cherokee. And after programming and doing everything successful, the vehicle is not starting. You can see it's not starting. So I'm going to diagnose the reason why it's not starting and work on it and see the fault code that is giving me. It's already giving me P0688. So I'll continue the diagnosing it, find the actual problem. So after scanning it, report. I'll go to report and check the fault code, the intake. I've taken it out and I'm having this fault code also, the P0688 pending. I think that's why it's not starting. The rest are active. The airbag is having an issue and there is no programming related code, no misconfiguration or something. That means the programming and everything is successful. So I have to tackle that first code and I have to go to control unit. Go to live data and check the ASD relay. And this is the wiring diagram that I got. So that means this is from Identifix. And this is the ASD relay. So I'll go and check the pins. So I'm supposed to get two power on this and power on that, and one power supplying to these two fuses and the other sensors, which is the injector and the ignition coil. So this is a ground from the control unit. So I have to check if the control unit is able to shut off the ground. So let me go to ASD. So you can see ASD relay state is true now. Let me turn the vehicle off. That means the ASD relay is on. So it's supposed to switch off. The moment I turn the key, again, it's still true. Whether I turn it off or whatever I do, it's still true. So I don't know if there's a problem with the relay, but what I'll do now is I'll check the wiring of the vehicle. So this is the fuse block, the fuse box, and let me check. There is the relay. There is the relays, and there is the relays. This one, K2, and this K2. So that means this K2. This is the relay. So I'll check the two power, and the moment I place it, you can hear it clicking. So that means the PCM has to shut the relay off for the car to work. So let me take it off and check the scan tool and see if it will change. Supposed to be off. Yeah, this is the state, AC. So this is it. So even if I've taken it off, it's still at AC relay is true. Okay. So what I did was, you see the yellow ones that I've selected on the Identifix, these are the command which tells the PCM that the relay is on. So I'll check. When I check, the ground was working, so it's able to activate the relay. So what I did is, you can see I've jammed this one. I've jammed the relay. So let me take it off and measure the voltage. You can see that means the relay is working. That means power has to be sent to the PCM, and that power is not going through. So let me measure the voltage I'm getting on. So you can see I'm getting 0.9 volts on this pin 73 to 70, pin 73 to 77, and I'm getting this low voltage, and you will not hear anything, but it's supposed to be 12 volt to the PCM so that the PCM can be able to activate all other relays. So what I'll do is I'll touch it to it and you hear the click. So I'm coming. Let me turn it off and turn it back on again. So it's not, oh sorry, the key wasn't on. So now the key is on, and the key is on. So I'll test my. So now the key is on. So they called me to program this PCM, and not me, it wasn't the PCM issue, because after programming I still had the same fault code. So now you can see now the key is on. Let me check the voltage that I'm getting, and you can see now it has even dropped to 5 volts, 0.5 volts, which is less than a volt. So let me touch it with this one and you hear the clicking. So you can hear the other system clicking. So what I'll do now is, because of that you can't crank, no start. So now you can hear the motor sound from the throttle, and I've done everything, I've programmed everything. So now that I've jammed that wire, when I check it now, you can see battery voltage. Now you can see battery voltage is going to that circuit. So when you check the wiring diagram also, so this is the wiring diagram, and this is from the relay. So when you see this one from the relay, you can see this wire is the one that goes to the PCM. This one goes to the PCM. So now what I'll do is I'll check why there is high resistance. But for now, my scan tool is on. I'll scan the whole system and see if that fault code is gone. If it is gone, then that means I should be able to start this vehicle without no. So let me try. So you can hear the vehicle trying to start. So that means the moment I take that wire, the vehicle wouldn't crank again. It wouldn't start at all. So now let me scan the whole vehicle. I'm trying to use my WinTech tool, but it's giving me connection issues, and I don't know why it's behaving that way. So let me scan. Yes. So then I have to trace the wires and check why I'm not getting, and it's a splice wire. So you can see, let me go to the next one, which is this one. So it's 13 here, and that's this wire 13 coming to this side. This is the 13 wire, and this car has been in the shop for so many years, and they just called me to come and program the PCM, because the one who diagnosed this says it needs a PCM, and I came to program it, and still the vehicle wasn't starting, and it was giving me that fault code. So what I'll do now is I'll check this wiring and do. Now you can see now the PCM fault is only one. Let me go to report and see what fault the PCM is reporting, and you can see it's now stored. The P0688 is now stored. So is the feedback going to the control unit that is having the issue. So now I'll check this one. The vehicle cranked, but it's not starting, so I have to continue my diagnosing. So now I think it's from this side, because when I connect to one pin, it affects all. So that means this splice is working. So I have to check from this side rather. When you get to this side, to under the fuse box, so I have to check that one and see, and I have to test all these two lines and see if I'm getting the power from it. Then I'll try and start the vehicle. So I'm still working on it, and now it's a stored fault code, so when I quickly erase it, now the PCM will be free and there will not be any fault code in the PCM. And you can see, and they've worked on this vehicle. They've really worked on this vehicle. So I'll check the power distribution box and check why I'm getting that drop, that voltage drop. So I'll check if maybe there is a corrosion or something, because they said when they drive it, it stops. So I'll try and get the solution. So now that's the fault I'm dealing with. So what I'll do now, and you can see that now the PCM doesn't have any fault in it. And let's go and check the ASD relay, the one which was turning into false. Now when we try to crank the vehicle, you can see the voltage is low. When you try to crank the vehicle, it's not starting. Let me go to read fault code. And you can see only this fault code that I'm seeing. And even this one, when I can work on it when I finish programming the whole vehicle. And when the vehicle starts, then I'll work on it. And you can see the part number now. This is the latest calibration part number, because I updated it. And the PCM was new, so the original VIN and the current VIN are the same. And I wrote the mileage also into it. So let's go to live and check the ASD relay. So now you can see it's at true and the state is on. So when I take the wire, you see the ASD relay will go to off mode. Okay, let me take the wire out. The moment I take it out, and you can see the ASD relay state mode is at off. So that's the issue. So now I'll try and crank the vehicle and see why it's not starting. So I'll join the wire again and crank it and see why it's not starting. So now the vehicle is running and there is no check engine lights after programming everything successful, and now everything is okay and the vehicle is running successfully. So you can hear the engine running. Thank God I'm able to do it. So I'll fix everything and trace the wire and know why that fault code exists in there. So I programmed everything and now it's running. After several hours and several subscriptions, buying other subscriptions just to get the exact control button, everything is running perfectly. Let me go back. So let me turn it off and turn it back on, and you can see it's running and there's no fault code also, and it's warming up. So I'll trace and see the other and see if I'll be able to find, and there's no fault code in the PCM. So the only fault code left is these two fault codes. So I'm done diagnosing. I found a problem, solution to it, and I'll call it a fix. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel for more videos. It's a bonus footage trying to identify the issue itself. So I've joined my multimeter to, I've set my multimeter to infinity reading, so it beeps. So as it's beeping, set for, these are the brown wires on the socket which goes to the ASD relay. So I'm supposed to get continuity on it, starting from the top. So now I'm getting it. Then I'm getting it. First I used not to get it because this wire comes direct from it. So now that I've taken out all the sockets and I fixed the fuse blocks back, now it's working perfectly and I'm getting the connection. But just that, so let me check. And when you check the wiring diagram too, from this side, from this one to the splice here, it's like a direct, so I have to get. So I'm just piercing it. So that means I don't need to worry myself with it. I don't need to worry myself with it. I don't know why he's behaving that way, because I took all the sockets out and you can see. So if I like to, I can run a power through it and check the strength also. Now you can see it's beeping and it's working, and the resistance is a bit low.